On today's adventure, we're taking a ride to Hunterdon County, New Jersey. What better way to celebrate the arrival of spring than to take a train ride, an Easter Bunny Express train ride on the Black River and Western Railroad. This is a round-trip ride from Flemington, New Jersey to Ringoes, New Jersey and back. First stop inside the station here is to pick up our tickets. From the outside, the train looks very well maintained. We were really impressed with the inside of the train and the details. Look at the glass on top. If you're like me, you can save the tickets like a souvenir and the pamphlet. My husband always makes fun of me because I save pamphlets wherever I go. Like I mentioned before, the details, look at these old suitcases. And this vintage poster is really cool looking too. Another old suitcase on top. So the history behind the Black River and Western Railroad is that it was founded in the 1960s by a group of friends who were interested in steam railroading. And the first passenger trains between Flemington and Ringoes, like we're taking today, operated under a lease agreement with the Pennsylvania Railroad. The railroad was built in 1854 and never stopped serving the original purpose to provide economical transportation to local businesses. Throughout the year, there's a few different themed events like this Bunny Express, and you can take an old-fashioned railroad ride right here in Hunterdon County.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Black River and Western Railroad Easter Bunny Express.
The conductor volunteer went over a little bit of the rules, including keeping your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times, keeping the windows shut because it was a chilly morning. I can appreciate that because I've been on trains before, and the kind that get the coal in your face and then your face is like all black and spotty afterwards. Pretty interesting. What's cool about the Black River Railroad Historical Trust is that it's a not-for-profit organization and it manages the public passenger trains and events like this one here today. Passenger trains are staffed by volunteers, and I have to say they did an awesome job on our trip. Leave a comment down below. Have you ever been on a train? And have you ever been on this train? This train trip took about an hour and a half, which I thought was the perfect amount of time for young kids and families. The longest train trip I ever took was when we took the Amtrak from New Jersey all the way down to Orlando, Florida, and that was quite the experience. I'm not sure that I would ever do that again. And I say I wouldn't do it again most likely, not because I don't like trains. I do. I rather enjoy trains. It was just that particular experience was not the best. The one thing I noticed on this train trip is there's a lot of flags on this route. I should have counted them all. So we have a few more months until July 4th, 2026, when America will celebrate the most important milestone in our country's history. 250 years of American independence. Taking a train trip like this really is just beautiful, right? You get to see different parts of the state of New Jersey, places that you might not have seen otherwise, and it's really relaxing. The railroads played a very large role in the development of the United States during the Industrial Revolution in the Northeast, during about the 1820s to 50s, and then to the settlement of the West in the 1850s to 1890s. The railway system was largely built by 1910. Now, my great-great-grandfather, who was an Italian immigrant, lost his life due to an infection. He was working on building the railroad. It was 1916 when this incident occurred. From research, I found that maybe it's likely that the Erie Railroad or the Central Railroad of New Jersey or Lehigh Valley Railroad was possibly where the incident took place. The story goes that a railroad tie fell on his leg, fractured it, he got sepsis following the injury, and he died on April 29, 1916, leaving my great-great-grandmother a widow and also alone to raise 3 children. So of course I didn't know my great-great-grandfather, but I did very well know my great-grandfather who told me all of this. And around this time, railroad work was one of the most dangerous jobs in America, especially near this Jersey City Hoboken freight yards and terminals. I did some research, and what I found was that over 3,000 railroad workers are actually injured in the year 1916. The reason I bring all this up isn't for doom and gloom, it's actually just very fascinating to me, and when we think of railroads, we can picture trains often moving across the country, but behind every single track and yard, there are stories of the people who built them. The hardworking immigrants from Italy, Ireland, and other countries that came to cities like this one in Jersey City working long hours in dangerous rail yards. These were the people that laid the foundation of America's rail system, and often their blood, sweat, tears, courage, and their stories remind us that the tracks we travel today were built by human hands and human sacrifice. To another topic while we're on this train, there's a few farms that we pass through, and Hunterdon County has a long and vibrant agricultural heritage. Even today, there's significant areas that remain farmlands, and it's lovely that it's all preserved and in active production currently. We passed through a farm before. You might have seen the little goats and the donkeys, and I appreciated that. I think that was one of the highlights of this trip, seeing that. Certainly sad to see some farmland go, condos being put up. We need to keep our farmers close, right? Farming is very important. Not only that, but in 2026, the fight against data centers and other industrial buildings, very important to keep farmland. And here we are, pulling into the Ringoes station. This sign here talks about how in 1854 the Flemington Transportation Company built the roadbed from Flemington to Lambertville, New Jersey, and then became part of the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1871. Follow me, let's go check out this egg hunt situation. Wow, okay, well it's not much of a hunt, they're all just right here in a field, but it's for little ones, so it's fun. After we got our eggs, we went and met the Easter Bunny himself. He was a delight. On to the gift shop. The gift shop is located at the Ringoes station, and they have some cool stuff. There's a mug, there's some train toys, different books, and stickers and signs that you could purchase. Don't forget to check out the museum while you're here, too. Baggage Car 420, their museum. On display here, you will find artifacts that tell the story of the volunteers that have kept the Black River and Western Railroad alive. In addition, they have an operating model railroad train and railroad and transportation history of Hunterdon County. Belvedere. Got some. That's all, folks. We highly recommend this train trip. Of course, we had to get some lunch, so we went to the Flemington Raritan Diner afterwards. We love a good diner, and this is a great one. Needed a little coffee pick-me-up midday here. I had to get this sign. I thought it was great. Don't forget to try some homemade ice cream while you're here. Check out this cool art here in Flemington. Before modern supermarkets and supply chains, farmers depended on local auctions and cooperative markets, like the egg auction here. The market provided a fair platform to reach buyers and help make community efforts into a broader rural economy for Hunterdon County. This sign talks a little bit about how it was the largest cooperative egg auction that operated right here at this location. It was established in 1932. Farmers from around the region brought eggs to be sold collectively at the auction, helping to stabilize prices and provide a reliable market for small producers. It operated at this location until the 1960s. At that time, changes in poultry production and distribution effectively ended the local auction model. Looks like there's a real estate sign out front, but to my understanding, there's some local businesses inside. The Bavarian castle style was built in 1902 for the Empire Glass Company originally. That concludes today's adventure. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to keep it moving.